Hey everyone, I've got an exciting interview today. I would like you to meet Steve from Dr. Relocation at RE/MAX. This is going to be a really fun conversation. So let's talk specifically, Steve, about the fact that doctors need to move, and that's what you do. So tell us a little bit about Dr. Relocation. How'd you get started? What's your story?
Well, I was licensed in 1999, 24 years ago, back at the turn of the century, and have seen a lot of changes in the industry. Shortly after I got my license, I was asked and invited to work with one of the medical groups here in Denver to help them with the recruiting process and relocating their physicians. Because it's a unique process that physicians go through, because as you're graduating from your residency program or from completing your fellowship, doctors typically are going right away to take their first position and often buying their first home as first-time home buyers. And so that requires really a very direct approach to getting some windshield time while you're in town for the interview, familiarizing yourself with the neighborhoods that are around the hospitals. If you have call duty, that will drive certain neighborhoods that you're going to be looking to. If I have a family, what are the schools that I'm going to be looking for? Where are the best schools? What is the best physician mortgage loan that's out there? And we have those partners too.
It's amazing, Steve, because I've got some family in the medical field, and I know a little bit, this much, about what they go through. But being in the moving industry for as long as I have, I've never really even considered that process of, okay, you're a physician, you're coming out of residency, you got to get into the market, and that's got to be really challenging if you're a doctor to try to accomplish all that all in one go.
Gosh, yes. Think about all the time that is spent in school with the undergrad work, medical school, residency, fellowships, and then all of a sudden, within the next couple of months, you're being recruited by hospital corporations from all over the United States who need you and need you to go to work with them as a physician because there is a shortage of physicians. And so it's a very competitive market in that regard. And so we like to think, and I believe that we are a part of that solution as a niche market real estate company who can help physicians and understands the challenge that they have, not only with buying and selling a home and making that happen, but the process of completing their credentialing, licensure in a new state, insurance, and then the onboarding process with the employer once they go to work.
There's just so much. They've got so much going on. So Steve, I know that you can work with physicians all over the place, but tell me a little about who you work with, how you work with them. What's this process here?
Mm-hmm. So if we're working with a hospital corporation, which we love to do, then they engage us to be part of the recruitment process, where they vetted us. They understand that as a real estate company, Dr. Relocation and our realtors understand the needs of their recruiting process, and we become part of the team. But then often we also have physicians who come directly to us. They find the website at www.drrelocation.com and come to us directly for help because they know that we understand their situation and their needs, moreover, the average realtor.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And as you're talking, in my head, I'm thinking about the moving process and how I've never really even considered, the specific needs of physicians. So maybe just answer this question for me. As you're dealing with physicians looking for good movers, what does a good mover look like? How do they help a physician make sure they're getting what they need?
Mm-hmm. Well, a good mover, I think, is the one point of contact, a moving company that has a national presence like Bailey's does with Allied Van Lines, that we can coordinate a move from point A to point B, and that they often will have homes to sell. Sometimes they don't have a lot of personal belongings. They've been renting because they've been in school. They haven't accumulated a lot of personal belongings yet because they've been working so hard just to completing their education. So working with a moving company that has national presence, as RE/MAX does, with our preferred agents that we work with on a national basis.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense. I know that it can be a challenging process for a physician. So it sounds to me like, and this is just my opinion on this, that if you're a physician and you got a lot you're moving on very, very quickly, it makes a lot of sense to try to hand off what you can to an expert like you, who's got all the expertise in making sure you can find the right home in the right area, in the right time frame, and get it all connected. Is that fair to say?
It is fair to say. And every physician is a little different in what they have expectations for in the home buying process. And just because you're a physician doesn't mean that you know everything about the home buying process too. And so you need somebody who understands your needs as a physician.
Do you have an example of somebody you've worked with that kind of has gone through that process with you?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, sure. A few examples. I suppose one example that I just had recently was with a physician who wanted to buy an income property. She wanted to be a good steward of her dollars. She wanted to buy an investment property where she could live in one part of the home and then rent the other part of the home. It was a duplex that provided that opportunity. And so we searched and found really just a very good opportunity for her to achieve that goal.
Well, Steve, it just sounds like if there's anybody out there in the medical field that's trying to figure out how to make this work, needs a realtor that understands them, it sounds like Dr. Relocation at RE/MAX is the place they need to be.
It is. We've got a lot of experience and have really well-trained realtors, and we understand the needs of physicians and the timing of that move to make that contractual start date. And all the work that has to be done, not only with the move, but the work of the credentialing process, the licensure process, insurance, and the onboarding process that they have to typically are going through when they start with a new employer. So we understand the bigger picture of what they have to go through.
Excellent. Well, Steve, this has been fascinating for me to learn about. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for explaining this very specific and very valuable service that you provide.
Well, thanks, Jake. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely.